que chegavam lá na península, chegavam, né, pelo mar, e daí eles chamavam assim, tipo, pejorativo, sabe? Os Scott, sabe Scott?
Sim.
Né? Então,
E aí,
aí o I no final torna plural, né, no italiano.
você não sabia.
Eu também não.
Eu não tenho notícia dele.
Só sei por causa do nome.
Uhum.
E Sheja tem alguma coisa a ver com tosar, com tesoura, alguma coisa assim. Não faço ideia.
Que vem de profissão, né?
Então eu não sei se é não, tesoureiro não é, mas de quitosa, sabe? Que corta. Cortador, alguma coisa assim.
Cortador de?
Oi, o que é, Lucas?
Cortador de quê, Rani?
Não, de ovelha, sabe? Que corta lã, que
sei.
sabe?
Eu esqueci o nome.
E aí eu não tenho ideia se é verdade, se não é, mas são as histórias que eu conheço.
Hey, Marco Túlio.
Olá.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Olá.
Eu tenho um aviso que a novidade até para o Tiago. Eu queria aproveitar que o pessoal está entrando e já passar a mensagem. A Andrea me contatou, Tiago, não sei se ela falou contigo. A Andrea ela tomou a 4ª dose, eu acho, da vacina, não sei o que foi, mas ela está muito, muito mal, assim, com sintomas.
Ixi!
E aí ela disse que ela não está em condições nem de participar aqui da Language Lesson e nem do workshop na sequência. Então, nós vamos ter que colocar um recado, enquanto vocês começam aqui a Language Lesson, eu coloco lá no grupo, suspendendo o nosso encontro após a Language Lesson, e aí nós vamos estudar a possibilidade de fazer na semana que vem, tá? No dia 17. Mas aí a gente entra em contato. Por enquanto, só vou suspender por motivo, né, ela realmente está muito malzinha.
Qual foi a vacina que ela tomou,
AstraZeneca.
AstraZeneca.
Eita.
Ela
Deixa eu falar. Aí, no caso, depois da língua de Lesson, não tem, aí a gente aguarda o horário para o Jackson, é isso?
Isso, Bernadette, isso mesmo.
Tá bom.
Mas qual que é o horário do Jackson? Logo na sequência também, né?
Peraí que eu te falo, que ele me mandou e-mail.
Eu acho que era concomitante, Bernadette.
Eu acho que é no mesmo horário.
É? De qualquer forma, não custa olhar aqui.
O bom é que aí o pessoal pode assistir a assim, quem não quiser, não fica esse vácuo depois da aula, né?
Isso.
Deixa eu ver.
Tá, então, Tiago, como isso tem a ver com a divulgação lá, por isso que eu queria falar agora, antes da gente iniciar a Language Lesson.
Legal.
Tá?
Mas ela tá muito
mal mesmo, você perguntou, os Jackson...
A vozinha dela tá tossindo, tá acamada.
Nossa,
Os antigos diziam assim, lá no sul, tá acamado.
AstraZeneca não é brincadeira, sabe? Meu pai também ficou muito mal. E pior que ele ficou mal uns 3 dias. Ele ficou o final de semana inteiro muito mal por conta da vacina.
E se os sintomas são os da Covid, eu tive... Ai, gente, teve pelo menos 2 dias que, assim, não dava vontade de fazer... Não é vontade, não conseguia fazer muita coisa sem ficar na cama, sabe?
Nossa,
sei bem como é.
Mesmo com as vacinas. Então,
eu tomei as 4 doses, mas felizmente não tive dica de nada, graças a Deus.
Qual tu tomou, Bernadette?
Hein?
Qual
cada vez foi uma. Eu não sei de cor, não. Cada vez que eu tomei foi uma no posto de saúde.
Eu tomei todas da Pfizer, eu acho. Porque eu estava grávida.
Não foram todas da Pfizer, não foram, não. Tem uma que chama Coronavac?
Isso, tem.
Essa eu guardei o nome, tomei.
Essa era danadinha também, Bernadette. Essa tinha
Essa outra eu não tive nada.
Eu também não tive nada, não, graças.
Que bom.
Eu tomei as 2 AstraZenecas e as outras 2 Pfizer, não tive nada.
Nenhuma?
Graças a Deus. Nossa.
Cada um tem uma reação diferente.
Cada
A primeira Coronavac que eu tomei, o meu braço doía, mas doía, que era um absurdo.
Às vezes é do aplicador, viu?
Teve isso, Eu tive
a enfermeira, ela aplicou em mim como se ela estivesse aplicando num porco morto. Porque eu nunca vi. Eu até virei para ela, tipo.
Não, eu tive, as duas primeiras para mim foram bem tranquilas. A terceira eu tive a dor no braço também, mas ficou até roxinho, assim. Foi na hora da aplicação.
E olha que eu
mas
não
eu
senti nada
agradecida,
bom,
sabe, Lucas? Assim, olha, tipo, terceira dose. Aí 2 dias depois eu soube que tava com a Covid.
Nossa.
Eu nunca testei positivo, mas eu tenho certeza que eu tava com Covid na semana, porque no lote em que eu moro são várias casas. Então, muita gente aqui ficou com Covid na mesma semana, e era eu e minha tia, nós estávamos, tipo, ajudando a cuidar de todo mundo. Inclusive, eu fiquei um dia inteiro na UPA, dentro do corredor mesmo, com todo o pessoal do Covid. E nesse fim de semana, eu e minha tia, nós ficamos com uma dor de cabeça muito forte, os dois. Só que a gente não testou.
Com certeza, porque é aquela mais transmissível, né? Aquela.
Não tinha vacina na época ainda. Foi em março, sabe? Logo no início. Não tinha nem vacina. Então foi assim, foi na cara e na coragem mesmo.
Ainda bem que não deu nada mais.
Não. E eu tive muito contato com muita gente que teve e nunca tive nada, não. Infelizmente, né? Eu ganhei na loteria, digamos assim.
Não, a gente se cuidou muito bem durante os 2 anos, né? Quase 2 anos ali. Aí foi agora fevereiro desse ano que nós estávamos retornando do Rio Grande do Sul e aí não teve jeito. Aí pegou essa mais transmissível aí, a gente deu bobeira, uma bobeirinha ali e aí todo mundo ficou aqui em casa.
Todo mundo pega. A minha stepsister, né, digamos assim, ela pegou acho que 4 ou 5 vezes já.
Caramba!
Inclusive tá ainda de Covid em casa, é a 4ª ou a 5ª vez que ela tem.
E ela trabalha com o quê?
Oi?
Ela é estudante?
Não, é.
Ela é estudante?
Ela é estudante.
Nossa.
Tá, tá fazendo medicina. Eu não sei qual universidade, mas ela tá fazendo medicina.
Não.
4 ou 5 vezes. 4 ou 5, então assim.
Não, porque tem algumas profissões que ficam mais expostos, né? Daí é muito difícil.
Não, ela é falta de vergonha na cara mesmo.
A minha irmã é bancária. Os bancários, assim, toda semana tem que fechar a agência para fazer a desinfecção lá do local, porque alguém tá com Covid.
Pois é.
Mas esse negócio da vergonha, mas eu acho também que quando pegar a primeira vez, e se não for muito forte, se for realmente uma gripezinha só, a pessoa dá uma relaxada, né? Eu já sei que eu sobrevivo e tal, acho que acaba relaxando um pouco, né?
Nada, fica de cama, semana toda. Fica semana. Se botar aí, na conta são 4 semanas de cama.
Eu não consigo, não. Uma reação de uma vacina foi só febre mesmo. Eu só senti frio, não senti mais nada. Mas assim, então, 6 horas da tarde, 10 horas da noite eu já tava melhor. Eu não quero mais sentir isso. Não quero.
Então tá, gente. Bom, eu vou fechar aqui a câmera, mas eu vou entrar também no celular, tá?
Ok.
O Thiago perguntou sobre o Jackson, é de 16h30 às 17h15, viu, Thiago?
Tá jóia, muito obrigado.
Nada.
16h30, ok.
O do Concol?
O Jackson.
Sim.
Se eu tiver correta.
Sim, o Jackson vai estar na conta do Concol hoje. Mas eu acho que ele vai estar desde o início, Bernadette, desde as 15h45.
Aquele horário anterior, então, é dele também?
Sim, eu creio que sim.
Ele deve estar lá, né?
Então tá.
Então, vai estar lá com a gente.
Ok.
Boa tarde, Leonardo.
Cool. So, let's start.
Let's start.
Yeah.
Are you recording, Lucas?
Yes, I am.
Cool.
Give me 1 second. Let's start then. last week we're talking about fake news and many facets of it, many ways of how you can see fake news, how they can be presented. So before we actually go, oh, it's totally okay, Leonardo. Before we can actually go, I would like to ask you if you remember or if you have a formed opinion of what do you think fake news is? Bernadette or Marco Tulio, Leonardo, any of you, like what is fake news to you?
Fake news for me is something that we read or listen to that it does not exist. It is not true. It's false.
Good.
Do you see it all the time? Sorry, do you see it all the time? Like, is it very frequent?
Yeah. How often do you guys see fake news?
Frequently. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Mhm.
really.
So among the teens, oh, Jesus Christ.
You too, Mark.
Yes, I think I see it frequently. So when we listen to some news or read some news, we have to check in advance to see if it's true or whether it's true or not, in order to share. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So today we're going to talk about something that doesn't seem exactly related to fake news, but it's all kind of going to make sense at the end. So I would like you to think a little bit about it. So, is anyone familiar with the word satirical cartoon, which we see in Brazil as charge, uma charge de jornal? Yes, Leonardo? Do you like them, Leonardo? You like reading some charges sometimes? Oh.
Sometimes they are really very intelligent. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can be very smart. Like you have sometimes you have to think a lot to understand what's happening. And well, one other thing, like sometimes people see different things on the same one. Like I can have one understanding of it, and another person can have another one. To be well, Leonardo said, yes, sometimes we have some of them in our workbooks. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are very, very common in workbooks at school. One example of this, like me and Thiago, we were selecting some charges for the lesson, and we had different understandings of the same one, right, Thiago?
Yeah. It's
Yeah, we,
very interesting how different people see different details.
yeah, it's all a matter of perspective. So the proper definition, one of them here is a satirical drawing, piece of writing, or comedy show is one in which humor or exaggeration is used to criticize something. That something often being a product of social and political contexts in which society finds itself. In Brazil, this type of cartoon is known as charge. So we want to know what you know about charges. And for that reason, we would like to ask you a few questions so that we can all answer them together. Is that okay? All right?
All right.
Okay. Let's start then. Before you answer, it's not necessarily that we have one right answer. We might have the most appropriate answer, but multiple answers might be correct, okay? Which is why we said that you should choose the most appropriate alternative for the following questions. And the first question is, Which of the options below contains something typical of satirical cartoons known as charges in Portuguese? What do you think?
For me, is comical approach to events. Letter D.
Hmm. What's wrong with letter A? What is the problem with letter A?
When it says faithful to reality,
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
me is false.
False. What about you, Marco? Do you see anything else that is wrong with letter A?
Yes, because to my mind, these charts normally they criticize the reality. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they don't consider it as something that they believe. Okay, it's not faithful. The adjective, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also letter B is proven wrong by something that you said, that sometimes we have to think a lot, and how can it how can it not be meaningful if we have to think about it? And
It's the opposite. No,
yeah,
we
exactly
have
the opposite.
to think a lot in order to understand what they want to
Hmm.
say.
Yeah,
Yes,
and letter C is, well, irony is one of the things that we love the most, right? So yeah, correct. Leonardo also chose the correct choice, the most appropriate one, which is the comical approach to events. So let's go for the second question. So, which of the options below contains something typical of satirical cartoons? Sorry, something typical of satirical cartoons known as charges in Portuguese. I think we made a mistake here. So, the question should be, where is it normal to find charges? I think we made a mistake. We had a little oversight here. Sorry about that.
yes. Well, I think letter A, newspapers and in social networks, they are easily found. You know.
Hmm? What about letter C?
Letter B. For me, letter B is true. Social networks.
Mm-hmm, that too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think of any option where you would probably not find the Shahi in there?
Uh, in
Instruction manuals.
letter D,
Letter D.
Yeah, an
yes,
instruction manual. It's kind of weird to find a Shahi in an instruction manual. Though you could find one, but that would be, you'd be like, well, you know, maybe if you bought a product that it was really, really hard to work with, and there was a Shahi in there making fun of you because you can't use the thing.
Yeah,
So,
they
yes,
have drawings, but not
yes.
usually
you
this
know,
kind of.
that's an option, but doesn't really help me.
Mainly because it's not the purpose of instruction manual, okay? To
Yeah.
Yeah.
criticize something or to be ironic. Yes.
Like an
Mm-hmm.
ins- an instruction manual is a genre of text, isn't it? And a genre has its purpose, right? The purpose of that is definitely not that. So yeah, that's not really it. Okay. So, in your opinion, which of the following topics sees the highest amount of satirical cartoons known as charge? Wait, which one of these is really popular?
For
I think
me,
in
it's
it's
celebrities. Letter D.
Celebrities. Hmm.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why?
Uh, for example, when we have a famous couple, they create stories about their relationship. And many times these stories are not true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hmm. What about
Yeah.
you, Makatulio? I heard you were about to say
Leonardo.
something different.
Yeah,
okay.
Leonardo answered B in the chat. Politics.
B. Yes,
What
politics.
about you, Mark?
Well, okay. I think letter A and letter B. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
we may find a great amount of charge. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, A is important. I'm gonna type a name in chat. Does anyone know this name? I think you will.
I don't. Duke.
Duke.
I don't remember.
Do you know this name, Marco? Duke?
Duke, no.
Duke. Duke is one guy that used to make many charges for Estado de Minas and other newspapers for soccer, for
Okay.
Atlético and Cruzeiro. So yeah, it's definitely
Mm.
one artist that it's interesting to mention that came from
Oh,
our state.
I don't know about politics. When I was little, an aunt used it to buy the magazine Isto É, and at the end of the magazine, there used to be. So when I went to the magazine storage to do schoolwork, usually, I used it to get a lot of them to take a look at it. I was young; I didn't understand most of those things. I kind of got to know Fernando Henrique and Itamar Franco through charts because I didn't know anything about politics. So I got to know them through the cartoons.
For comics,
Politics
yeah.
is very.
It's really fun, like how we sometimes get to know things that we don't know about through a joke, through a charge, through a comic, but never the actual thing. We don't know the thing. We just heard jokes about it, and well, it's better than nothing. Definitely better than nothing.
Yeah.
So, since we had this little exercise to test what you guys know about charges, we would like to answer a few more questions. This time, they're not multiple choice questions. We want you to form your own opinion, and you can write it down on the chat, or you can use your notebook, your laptop, anywhere you want to answer the following questions about charges. What are political cartoons? What are they? And what do cartoonists want to achieve by creating political cartoon? What is the goal? What is the main objective behind making such a thing? Right? You're
Okay,
gonna have
guys.
a few
So
minutes to think. Oh, sorry.
yeah, for
Go
you
ahead,
who
Phil.
likes to write, to use paper, pen, this is a good opportunity. You can write in your notebook and share with us later.
Hmm.
Okay, guys. So you have 5 minutes to think about it and write something.
We'll be discussing that.
okay. I think that one of the main goals of political cartoons is to stimulate, okay, to stimulate, I forgot the word, reflection, okay, upon upon politics, okay.
Hmm. Reflection. Yeah, reflection is definitely one. And
Yes,
do you think this reflection is a good kind of reflection or a bad kind of reflection?
Or both.
I think
Or both?
both, okay.
What do you see more, the bad one or the good one?
Oh, I don't feel
Mm.
comfortable to answer this question because no, there are both sides,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It
We're
depends on
not
the
saying about sides.
intention. It depends on the intention.
Hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
a little bit complicated. Okay.
Oh, for me, it depends of the people who reads about. If serious people, they understand one way. If they are not, they will understand another way, as
Mm-hmm.
it was a piada.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is there like any characteristics that like you see a cartoon and you're like, oh, I know this is a cartoon. This is not just a drawing. This is a satirical cartoon. Is there anything that you see and you know in your brain that that's what you're seeing?
Okay, about Lula, for example, when I see something about him, always it likes as it was a piada indeed. and I think, oh my God, how can this person be a president candidate? My God, respecting your opinions, of course.
Mhm. Good.
Yeah, it's something. Like, it's very. I think there is a fine line when we talk about cartoons because it can be hard to be respectful, and because the line between being respectful and being funny, sometimes they're very really gray. It's really hard to see. Yeah, no, I've just pointed out something very true, which is satirize and criticize, or open our eyes, or show some truth in a fun way. Yeah, it's showing some truth in some comedy, and it's interesting that a lot of social critics of our time, they're actually comedians. Comedians tend to be very critical about society and the way that things are, because in order to be one, you have to kind of see a big picture and poke fun at it in an interesting way. You don't want to be, oh, everything's awful, everything's bad, just that. Sorry. Still recovering from a cold. So, okay, let's move on then. We we're going to read a text, and the text is also about political cartoons. However, it can answer some of the questions that we were talking about. And what we want you to do is to read the text and see if it answers those questions, and if the answers to these questions is different from what you're thinking. So you're just not gonna read the text to know what's in the text. I want you to see if it's different from what you think. Okay?
To compare the ideas on the text with your own ideas. The text, I sent the link on the chat, so everybody can go to this link. Okay, and you can have some minutes to read it. Okay, everyone. Okay, Bernadette.
Okay,
The
okay.
link is already there. Good.
So I have to go to the chat, yes?
Yeah, there is a link there
Mhm.
with a text, and then you can find the text to read.
Okay.
So we want you to read the text. Think about the answers for the questions we asked. If the text has a different opinion from you or not, or if it's similar. What are the ideas of the text regarding these questions?
Tiago, I here see the link, but I click and it doesn't open. Why?
Really? Hmm.
Yeah. Ah, now it goes.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Okay. Excuse me.
It's okay.
no problem.
Did everybody finish?
No, I didn't finish yet.
Okay.
Yes.
Confirming. Okay, everyone?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so what do you guys think? Is it similar, different from what you previously thought?
I think they are similar, not different.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree with the text. Okay. Mainly because I think that the more we understand the persuasive techniques used by cartoonists, the more we are able to understand his or her point of view, and what his or her intentions are. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very good.
Tiago, we are 8 people, and why only Marcos and I participate orally? The others being silent, silence. Why?
Yeah, Leonardo doesn't have a mic, so he participates in the chat, and
I
and the
mean,
others, yeah, and some others are a technical device to help us with the presentation. When
okay.
we present the screen, for example, it adds another person. I know.
And Nani, who is supervising us today.
Yeah. Leonardo, do you want to comment anything? You can send in the chat. Feel free to write in the chat. We'll be reading it.
Oh, Leonardo, where are you?
Yeah. So yeah, and Mark's point is very good. This text is very good. Oh, he's saying hello there. He's there. He's watching. He's with
He's right
us.
there.
He just doesn't have a mic, as he commented. So it's a very good point is this to try to pay attention to these details that we can help us to realize what are the intentions of who is transmitting that idea, which is something if we don't pay attention to, we kind of buy other people's ideas sometimes without notice. I want you guys to return to the text. Can you pass the next slide, Lucas, please?
Yes, right here.
Because I want you to bring some information from the text. I want you to. Oh, Leonardo wrote there. This text is very good, mainly the characteristic of a cartoon. Yes, and those ways the cartoons can use to transmit the ideas, and it's a very interesting part.
Some very common techniques.
Yeah, and for us to use too, why not? I
Yeah,
don't know how to drawing, but it's who knows. You can see very clear is irony in a cartoon. Yeah, it's a very common technique, right? Used. Be persuasive. So I want you guys to go to the text again to name 4 vehicles where political cartoons can be found according to the text, and also to name the 5 persuasive techniques used by cartoonists mentioned in the text. Okay, the same link. Okay, everyone?
The link disappeared. Why?
It's still there, but let me send it again.
Okay.
For me,
Don't close the text, Bernadette. We're gonna use it again a little bit.
Okay.
yeah, it's there again. I sent it.
Now, Thiago, yes.
Yeah. Alrighty. Is everyone ready?
I'm writing. I'm here.
Okay. No problem. We can wait a little bit. Can
Oh, yeah.
can we go now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's go with the first question. Name four vehicles where political cartoons can be found according to the text. What did you guys found? What did you
Well,
guys find? Sorry.
okay. I found, for example, newspapers, news magazines, right? And also
Mm-hmm.
political websites they mentioned too. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, let's see what else.
Found three. Oh,
Did anybody find something else?
did you find anything else, Bernadette? Or
Yes,
Leonardo?
please read the question for me because I didn't write down the questions.
So,
Read, please.
name four vehicles where political cartoons can be found according to the text, which would be em português, para você nomear quatro meios de comunicação em que é possível encontrar charges.
Okay, so I wrote that about the cartoons we can find in daily newspaper and magazines, and they use several techniques to get their points. Sometimes they exaggerate the physical characteristics of people. They label to make clear what they stand for.
Okay, good. Leonardo, want to share?
Leonardo?
Leonard, where are you?
Oh, Leonardo was trying to find some cartoons.
Yes.
Leonard
Quite
is sleeping.
It's not sleeping.
És o Tiago.
That's not sleep. No one is
Okay.
asleep.
It's not.
Yeah. It's okay, Leonardo. It's fine.
It doesn't have a microphone.
Yeah.
What about the second one? Leonardo can type if he wants. But what about the second one? Did you guys find?
Yes. First, they mentioned symbolism, right? It's a
Mhm.
technique where they use objects, okay, or things in order to stand for large and broad concepts, right?
Mhm.
The first one. The second, they mentioned exaggeration, right? Where they
Mhm.
can overdo some characteristics of people or things, right? And then there is labeling, analogy, and one of the, I think the main characteristic is irony, right? They compare the way things are to the way things should be, right? When they use irony.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Did you all got the? Did you, sorry, did you all get the five? This five?
Yeah.
Cool. Good. So let's take a look at the cartoon properly.
Okay.
Since we have 7 minutes, why don't we move on to the
Oh
next
yeah.
room
Okay.
so that we have more than enough time for the subsequent discussions? I will
Please,
post the
could you
link.
could you type the next link
I will post it
here?
right now.
Yes, because it's easier
What?
to. Yes.
Yeah. I was looking for it too.
Yeah, I will post it right now. 1 second. It is in the chat right here. We will be waiting you there while I set up the recording.
Thanks.
Now I think I turn on my cell phone because the Wi-Fi in my school is not good.
Oh, good.
Okay, Leonardo, we'll be going to the next link. It's in the chat right there.
Okay. I think I am in the next one. Yes.
Você clicou no link no chat? Oh, okay. Now
There
you
you go.
entered there.
Right here.
Good.
Um segundo. Second. It's not really. Okay. Right. So, I believe everyone is here. Oh, Marco Tulio's not here apparently.
He was. He entered here.
Yeah, he was here just a second ago. Well, we could wait like some 30 seconds for him, see if he comes back. If
Okay.
he doesn't, then
Okay.
we may proceed.
Oh,
Oh, there he is.
Here it is.
There he is.
I'm
Welcome
back.
back, Mark.
Thanks.
Cool.
Welcome back. So one easy question and one not so easy question. Looking at this cartoon, the easy question is, where is this man?
In jail.
Jail.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, Bernadette, we can't hear you. Oh.
In
Yes.
jail. Can you hear me?
Mhm. Yes,
in
Annette.
jail. Yes. Yeah, we can hear you.
And he is in jail.
Good.
So
Next
one
one.
not so easy question. Do you see one of the techniques from the text being used here?
You are asking why this question is it easy? Yes?
The other one was easy. The where he is easy.
Oh, we can see that it says, tá um barulho aí no fundo, é quem? Não tá um barulho no fundo?
Diz que alguém deve estar
É.
com o som ligado.
Olha para você ver.
I'm trying to mute, but it's not working. Apparently,
Now it's better.
it's okay. It's fine. I'll unmute it. So, like I was saying, can you see one of the techniques that the text talks about being used in this cartoon? Just any of them? Can be anyone.
Maybe symbolism.
How?
Because they are using some objects, okay? Like, for example, a pencil, I don't know how to say this. Essa, essa bola no pé dele, eu não sei como é que fala.
Oh, the weight. It can be a weight, right?
Yes, and
I
the
don't know.
drawing on the walls too.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
The ball in his foot, I don't know even in Portuguese. I recognize the image, but I don't know the name.
Yeah, I don't remember either. So yeah, it's a COVID. It's like a virus. Well, not necessarily COVID, but it's a virus. So then I ask again, going I'm going with what you said, Marco. Symbolism. Is this jail really a jail? Do you think this jail is physical or is it psychological?
I think it's psychological. Because there are some characteristics, some drawings, some objects that we don't see in jail, like the pencil. Okay, we can see the something on his arm, like if he were
The
vaccinated.
bandages?
Okay, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. You see how the question is not really an objective question. Where is he? Well, he's in jail, but is this really jail? It's can it might be, might not be. So don't really know.
Maybe he's locked in himself. Something some
Maybe
psychological
he's
meaning.
locked in himself. Yeah. So how is the man feeling?
I think
It
he's
is
feeling
good. This.
depressed or something like
What else, Bernadette? What do you think? How is he?
Yes, I think he is not sad. For me, it seemed that he is sleepy.
Sleepy? Yeah, he has his eyes are a little
Dreamy
tired.
eyes.
It seemed that his eyes are closed. Oh no, yes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he can be.
I think he took some drugs, for example. Okay, some
Yeah.
medicines.
Do you see any sort of drug that he might have taken?
I don't know, but look at his arm,
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
his right arm.
yeah.
His right arm has
Yeah.
something to tell.
You said that it was a pencil. Okay, it's not a pencil. It's drug, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an interpretation, and he is marking injections in the wall, which
Yeah.
can
What is he
be
marking?
medicine, but can also be drugs.
Yeah. What did you say about what he sees on the wall?
Yeah. What is he marking on the
Yeah.
wall?
What is he marking exactly?
I think the number of doses he had taken, maybe. Yeah, okay, it's an injection, so 3.
3 or 4.
Ampola de injeção, Marco? Ampola de injeção?
Yes, I think so.
Ah, ok.
Seria seringa no caso, né? That
Seringa,
would be
isso
a
mesmo.
seringa, how we pronounce it here, or needles.
Syringe.
Syringe, yes, the syringe and the needles too.
Yeah.
So
Leonard said B. B for this one? No.
I think it was for the previous one.
Previous.
Okay. He thinks it's an irony. Yeah, it could be. It could be an irony. Another irony. Now that you talked about irony, Leonardo, you see, you see the shot. That could be the shots. Could be many things. But did it free him? Is he free now with the shots? What is shackling? What is holding him in place? It's apparently a virus, and he's not being made free. A lot of irony in there, which is another technique that the text talks about. The irony. It's very very common. So You can go, Thiago, if you want a little bit.
Yeah, you guys answered very good. You had, we all, I think, had different impressions of the men's feelings. But what helped you answer the previous questions? What elements helped you to answer?
First,
Everybody?
the cartoon that is here, because the cartoon shows us what is happening.
Well, to me, I think it was, for example, something that I didn't know exactly before I read the text on persuasive techniques. This article that you have just given us now, okay, it helped me to understand the concepts hidden, okay, in this kind of comics, right?
Yes. What other details have you noticed? Because after reading, as Marco mentioned, you started paying attention to more details and well, usually we just look at these things, we see if we like or not. This is the more common way. After reading a text like this, we start to pay attention to these details, right?
Mhm.
What other details have you noticed that you found important to mention?
Yeah, you
Detail.
even talked about his eyes. Remember?
Yeah. The other day we were trying to see if that little risk is his nose or his mouth.
Yeah, we couldn't come to a conclusion.
Yeah, we have different opinions on that. What do you guys think?
Opinions about what?
His mouth.
Does he have a mouth or is that his nose?
Oh, his mouth.
Because he helps with expression, right? That's what we were kind of investigating to think about his feelings. One way is to get
I
his
think it may
expression,
be his nose
his
because
nose.
it's implied the idea that he cannot speak out what he's feeling,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
sub, subjective,
That he's
but
silenced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
imprisoned and silenced. Yeah, yeah, sweet. You know,
And then in
everyone.
he is trapped by that thing that reminds us of the virus, right? He's counting the shots. And Lucas suggested a prison in his head, right? A psychological prison, not necessarily a physical prison, which is a way of seeing this, an interesting way. And thinking
Mm-hmm.
about this perspective, I can't help but notice that it's sunny outside. You can I'm imagining the sunlight hitting the thing. So it's it's sunny. It's a beautiful day outside, and he's trapped in the prison.
Yeah,
It's I really like this one.
yeah, this is a great one. So, uh, let's go to a different exercise now then. So, we have some
Yeah,
other cartoons here. What we're gonna do with them is something different. We're going to interpret them, and you're going to think about the cartoon. And if you were to give the cartoon a name based on your interpretation, how would you name it? How would you give it a title?
yeah.
And
Thinking
this is the
about these
first question.
details, we paid attention to. Now we want you to take a look at it and think about a title, a name for it.
Is it a game? Maybe or not?
Don't know. What do you think, Mark, Leonardo?
Apparently, it's a riot.
okay. I think people are protesting against something, okay? Maybe against the government, it looks like to me, right? And then they are throwing balls into them to see if to persuade them to give up the idea of a strike, for example, of protesting. And then the policeman and the government or the military is saying, oh, even football doesn't work anymore, okay, to make these people stop thinking, you know? That's my interpretation.
Yeah, it's very good. Why football?
Because football is an easy instrument, okay, to make people. Well, sometimes I'm not against football, right? Something that, in a certain extent, may alienate some people, okay, the population of people, right? If you forget the other things, you know.
Especially this year.
I'm not against football, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If you go to the 70s, when you see the World Cup, okay, Brazil was facing a serious political moment, but everybody was worried about the World Cup. You know,
Yeah,
it was very functional to the government at that time.
Yeah, I love football, and I agree a lot with you. And for me, it was always a big coincidence that our main election, because we have two election periods, right? But the most important of the country is in the same year of the World Cup. But it's just a big coincidence.
But soccer here in Brazil, when the teams play at the end of the game, depending on the result, a torcida, they kill each other, they fight.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what kind of torcida is this in Brazil? Is very sad.
Yeah, there are many crazy people out there that use football as a reason for violence.
Yeah,
People are violent.
yeah, a
And
lot.
if it's not football, it's another thing. There is always something as an excuse for violence. Yeah.
Yes.
But what name would you guys give to the?
Okay, I would name it like as for example, government loses control of the situation, right?
This is control good.
Good one, yeah. What about you, Bernadette? Would you give it a different name?
I think that the government he doesn't take any decision about what happens in Brazil. Only media show us, and okay, stop. The government doesn't do anything in order to punish what is not right, what is completely wrong. Our Brazil is a bagunça.
It's a mess.
Very.
So,
What about you, Leonardo? What name would you give to this cartoon?
in the name, Bernadette. I didn't get the
Oh,
name.
yeah, I forgot.
What?
But yeah, Leonardo can write the name on the chat, and Bernadette can tell us the name. The name, a name for the
The punishment.
punishment.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Good one.
Leonardo,
The
The
election.
election.
did you
The election is a great one.
Yeah. His title he posted on the chat, Bernadette.
Yeah.
The
The
election.
election. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. This
It's
is the
really
year.
good.
Next one.
It's not a
Let's see.
campaign.
Let's
All
see
right, next
another
one.
one.
Não, o tamanho da barriga.
Yeah. Can you notice any of the techniques we saw in the text?
Let me see.
Remember the 5 techniques we talked about? We
On
saw.
your own if you were to give this cartoon a title, what would be late? Oh my God. Also, ladrão é thief? Ladrão é thief?
Yes,
In
it is
English?
thief. Yes, you are correct.
Yes. So I think the cartoon represents a kind of thief.
Okay. What else?
Well, I think symbolism is used here and labeling too. Okay, it's a kind of exaggeration too. I think.
Yeah, some physical features were exaggerated.
Yes, his belly, and his legs are very thin, right? And his
Yeah,
belly is really big. And his
Yeah,
ears too.
yeah.
yeah.
Leonardo already gave us his title. Would be winner of the cup.
Winner of the cup. Good,
Yeah.
good one. And you, Mark?
Um, let me see here. Uh, I was not convinced by this cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
But what does it represent for you?
For me,
Yeah?
something that's not true.
For example,
Because, who do you think is in the cartoon here? Lula, right? I don't believe, I don't believe he's a thief. I will vote for Lula. Yeah.
yes, it represents
Yeah.
Lula.
So I
Lula
don't agree
thief.
with the idea. So the cartoonist didn't convince me. Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting
Right.
how like cartoons are always like they are an opinion of someone who's making the
Yeah.
cartoon, and as we even discussed and we had a multiple choice question about it, they might or not or might not be faithful,
Yeah.
just
Mm-hmm.
an opinion, right?
It may
So
have multiple interpretations.
yes,
Right.
and it's always from the author. So
Yeah, and also the this kind of relation, it's relating the person with the bag of money. It's a bag of money, but we automatically think about stealing, right? But
Yeah,
why? Because this association of images is so common. We see this so often that in our brain we end up associating. As I commented about the Stoic case, I learned first that politics were all in corruption before I learned what politics were. Before I
yeah,
learned what the presidents were. But anyway,
you are right.
that's one more.
one more. Cup of Corruption. Good title too. This one.
The federal government has worked to keep Brazil in order. Well,
Yes. I think may I say something?
Please
Okay.
go ahead.
Well, I can see the first characteristic that I could see here is irony. Look at what is under the table, and what the politician or the president has said. Okay, they are completely the opposite. Okay, they are kicking things under the table, and they are really not doing anything, right, to solve the situation. Okay,
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
like this
that's
one here.
It's
Yeah,
two sides:
expressive. Yes.
the facade and the real, quote unquote, real.
oh,
What
when
about you?
I look at this cartoon and what is written here, to keep Brazil in order, and I see so much garbage below the
Hmm.
table. I think this represents this garbage that Brazil it is not in order. It's a messy.
It's
yeah.
a mess. You said it yourself earlier. It's uma bagunça. So
Yeah,
yeah, there is a
yeah.
bagunça right there. It's underneath the table.
And we have two flags. One is from Brazil and the other.
Two what? Oh, two flags.
Okay.
Oh, I think that symbol is from the army. I'm not sure.
On the army. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's our Brazilian army,
Yes, it is.
but I'm not
Yes,
sure.
it is the what we have here as exército. It's um,
And
Yeah,
this
our
guy,
only
and this guy looks like Bolsonaro, right? Look at him.
yes. It is
Yes,
definitely supposed
yes.
to be him. Yeah.
Oh, it
Yeah.
seems that is a human. You said Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro, it's a human. Look. Oh,
Hmm.
look at her legs. Oh
Yeah,
my
Oh,
God. Maybe Bolsonaro's wife.
no,
but
but
wait, but
look at his
Bernadette,
face.
the
Oh
legs are
yeah,
full of hair. I don't know.
Yeah.
Of course,
yeah,
can be
maybe.
man, woman, but
But it seems a woman's face.
Look at
Not so.
his hair. The way Bolsonaro uh, combs his hair. Yes,
and his eyebrow,
yes, yes.
the
Hmm.
Okay.
eyebrow, yeah, looks like
Ai,
him.
que delícia.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go for the next one.
Yeah.
Here we have a different cartoon, which is suggestive. And what is your first impression of it?
Okay, let me see. United Nations. Oh, for me, the problem here is with the USA because it is here absent and against maybe Russia is against the USA. I'm not sure, but what do you think?
Hmm.
Well, I could see that through the cartoon that, for example, United States has a steady and strong position. They're completely against, right? And this there's those military from Israel, I think. Look at the symbol, okay? They are,
Symbol, good.
yes, I think they are from. He is from Israel. Look, I'm not sure.
Yes, that
Israel.
is a
Yes,
Israeli
yeah,
Israel
flag.
The
from
flag,
Russia.
the flag. Yes,
the flag,
Okay.
yeah, it's Israel flag.
yes.
Okay.
They
But
are.
is he
He is
really
completely
someone from Israel?
against the embargo. And then we have Brazil, okay, showing Bolsonaro again. That's always absent
Hmm.
to express, I don't know, to decide on something, on subjects like that, you know?
Oh, Marco,
And you see here,
Bolsonaro here is like a dog. Take a look.
yes,
He
okay,
has a tail. Oh my God. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
dog. Oh, what sadness.
Although he is, although he is chained to the president of the United
Yeah,
States,
he's on the leash.
okay, he decided to be absent, not to vote for, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more thing. You see the soldier?
Yeah.
Doesn't he look kind of American to you? Look at his nose and his mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
See? And
Very
he's
but
big.
holding an American gun.
yes, but I didn't understand his flag. The flag is from
No, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the flag is.
Israel flag, yeah, but if
complex.
yeah,
Yes,
the his face is quite similar
Yeah.
to the Uncle Sam face.
Yes,
yes,
that is.
yes.
And he's holding an American gun.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So you see how
It's
we have a lot of underlying things underneath there?
yeah, and well, many details for us to analyze. But look at the face of United Nations. Does United Nations seems to be very enthusiastic of
no,
this
no.
voting
It
process?
seems he is angry.
Angry. I'd say he's
Hmm.
Yeah.
bored. You know,
The,
he's like,
the
yes,
United
Doesn't care.
States.
Not my
yeah,
problem.
Yeah.
Maybe he think, oh, the same old story again, right?
yeah. Hmm. We won't
Hmm.
go anywhere with this. Yeah,
This is never going to end. All this again, and oh my God, and on it goes. So, since we talked about this cartoon, we would like to show you, not show you, but present one of the perspectives that we talked about before we made this class, which is, remember how we were talking about fake news and how a cartoon is someone's opinion. We're talking about this cartoon and this one specifically, which is our favorite one from the class. Think of it like this. This man is in what it seems like a psychological prison. He can't get out. He doesn't even have a mouth, so he's silenced. He's tied down by the virus, which is the COVID virus, and he's dreaming of shots that he has taken, but his eyes are dark. He doesn't seem like he's himself, and his arm hurts. Was he really free? Did the shots, did the vaccine help him in any way? He's still in prison. He's still there. So one of the messages that this cartoon possibly says is the vaccine doesn't do anything. You see how it can be seen that way? It's like, well, the vaccine doesn't do anything. And is saying the vaccine doesn't do anything a form of fake news?
Yes, if we think like that, it's not true. Okay. Yes,
Mark,
it's a dangerous fake news. Yes,
what is not true, Mark?
that the vaccine doesn't do anything.
Yeah, one possible interpretation for this cartoon is that the guy is expecting to be free of the chain, which symbolizes the virus, and he thinks that the vaccine is helping to do so, but after 3 shots, he's still in prison.
Still the same?
So he can pass this idea that the vaccine won't help.
So you see how we were talking about something that could be fake news the whole time without even realizing that it could possibly be fake news? Like that's the problem with fake news. It's everywhere.
Yes, it requires a deep interpretation, right? That's why it's dangerous. Very
Yeah,
dangerous.
because sometimes some things are very absurd. Some things are big absurds. We look at it and we can see that this is it's not real. But sometimes, which is the dangerous type, they are subtle and sometimes they may get us unarmed.
Então,
Tiago, vou perguntar em português. Qual das casas de vocês que tem uma voz feminina falando ao fundo e que às vezes não dá para a gente entender porque a voz eleva e fica misturado?
I think it's mine. Yeah, I'm the library. So I'm not at home.
Ok.
Eu acho que é aqui. É. O meu fone é muito bom em bloquear o som, então eu não escuto. Para mim tá tudo bem, mas
Não, ok.
às vezes.
Ok, you explain it. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Ok.
so one more. What about this one? Can you think of any kind of fake news associated with this one?
For me, what I see here, it's true. This happens in Brazil because of soccer. Oh my God, many violence. They protest, they fight, they kill. For me, this cartoon is true about soccer in Brazil.
The idea that the football can calm people down. What about it?
What did you ask? If football?
Like the idea, one of the ideas on this cartoon is that football is enough to make people quiet down. People here seem to be angry about looks like a protest. So looks like people are angry with the government, for example. And the way the police is trying to solve the problem is throwing football balls at the people, like giving football to them, they will come down, they will stop protesting. So is that true? Completely?
No. I think okay. I understood what you said. It's exactly what I said before. But I see it. I understand it in a different way. The idea that football is not capable anymore to calm people
Mm-hmm.
down. This is true to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like it used to be some time ago, right?
Yes.
Because they are saying even this doesn't work anymore. Like for him, what shall we do now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When is this? When do you guys think this cartoon is from? Let me. No, there isn't the year. But what do you guys think? Looking at the image, that's the idea. Looking at the image, when is this from? There is no right answer because I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a guess.
Yeah, but what I think, one thing I noticed in this cartoon is the clothes of people in the protest. They are wearing normal clothes, different clothes from each other and all. Which nowadays, when there are this kind of protests on the street, there are some colors that we can identify what side the people are, basically. This makes me
Mm-hmm.
think that this cartoon is a little old, but this is my interpretation.
Yeah.
It's a little before this
Yes,
period.
but the situation is can be related to nowadays, right? Okay,
Yeah,
but according to the way people are dressed, I agree with you. Maybe it's not.
yeah.
You know,
Because from some years ago on, we started seeing more colors, more easy colors to identify the, the, the sides, the political points of view of the groups, right? And in
Mm-hmm.
this one, it didn't. At least it didn't use these to point to any direction. But this, and because of this, I remember it reminded me of the 2016 protests when people started showing for me that football wasn't enough anymore.
Yeah.
That's one thing I saw.
And it could also be a product of fake news. So imagine like this: the image that Brazilians are ignorant and only think of soccer, which is fake, which can be considered fake news, is what causes people to come here and think that they can throw balls at us and we're going to calm down. And then they're like, well, things are not like this. That was fake news. This is not going to work. See? So there's always many interpretations to it.
And also, well, maybe football solved this kind of situations when things were not so extreme. Maybe we can relax and watch some football when things are not very good, but we have a certain limit as people, as country. We have a limit that uh, we can tolerate. Maybe,
Hmm. Everyone has their limit.
yeah, good. Anything else? Any comments? Any details you guys wanted to share about this or one of the others? Anything that caught your attention?
About this bag that is near the near a man. I don't know if it is a policeman.
Mm-hmm.
What does it represent? Is it a bag?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. It's a bag of balls.
Ah,
It's a
bag of
bag of balls
balls.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
on top of a
The,
tank.
what? Sorry, Lucas, I didn't hear.
It's a bag of balls on top of the tank.
Oh yeah, on top of the tank. Yeah, or yeah, tank. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh,
So guys, I hope you have enjoyed these cartoons. It's difficult to select a few because there are plenty of cartoons out there to choose many interesting things. Some things more offensive. It's difficult not to find a lot of offensive things that are too much sometimes, in my opinion. I like these more subtle things.
yes.
Um, and well, that was it. I hope you have enjoyed it.
Yes,
As go on, Mark.
okay, I want to say that it was brilliant. Okay, the class was wonderful, right?
Thank you.
yes.
Very interesting subject. Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
I want
you,
to
guys.
thank too, because as you said, this or what you showed us about cartoons for me was excellent and make us to think about the cartoons. You, congratulations.
Thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Let,
So,
let me ask a question. Will there be a list today or not?
Oh,
oh,
sorry about that. We forgot.
Just,
But
just
well, since it's only the three of you, Marco, Bernadette, and Leonardo, I'm gonna count it. It's going to be fine.
okay.
And the link now is it in the chat too? Can
Where are you going, Bernadette? Pra onde você vai? Pro Concol ou pro... Ah, não, o EDUCONLE
com
foi
qual?
cancelado hoje, né?
Only
não,
com
Então,
qual,
vai
é?
pro
Jackson,
Concol,
é
né?
Jackson.
É, com o Jackson. Eu
Jackson,
vou...
is Jackson now?
É, sim, daqui a pouquinho. Daqui 10 minutos.
10 minutinhos,
Okay.
é.
So you are
10
going
minutos.
to put the link in the chat,
Eu
yes?
enviei para o seu e-mail, mas eu vou postar aqui no
That's a
chat
problem.
agora.
Ah, tá bom.
É, como a Annalise falou, a EDUCONLE não vai ter, mas aí tem a do Concol, tem a reunião do
Tá ali, ó.
Concol.
Os links estão ali. Bom?
Ah,
Bom,
é esse.
Lucas, I
Oi.
want to thank you a lot because you are so kind too.
Oh,
You
you're welcome.
send the links for me by my email. Thank you a lot.
You're welcome. I send it to everybody by email because I want to make sure
Yes,
that everyone has access to it. So it's all good.
thank
Okay?
you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, guys. It was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. See you next time.
See
Thank
you.
you.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
See you next Friday.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, a
Bye-bye.
bunch of kisses for you.
Kisses.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Bye.
Isso, 45.